Valentine when you can just read romance books? So here are my top 5 favorite romance reads. I'm splitting this up in 2 parts. For part 1, we're gonna do little to no spice, but don't worry, for my spicy girls in part 2, we're turning up that heat, okay? Coming in at number 5, but is one of my absolute favorite reads with no spice, is Assistant to the Villain. Oh my God, if you are looking for the perfect, cozy, funny romantasy with the absolute slowest of burns, I highly recommend reading Assistant to the Villain. This is actually part of a series. This is the first one out of 3. The third one comes out this August, and I'm so excited. Coming in at number 4, if you just want something that's really heartwarming and a little cozy romantasy and a fake enemies to lovers, like they're barely enemies, I highly suggest Divine Rivals. This was a very cute, like lighthearted read. I believe the spice is like light, barely there. Coming in at number 3, if you love Bridgerton but wish it had 2% of the spice, then let me introduce to you Love and the Downfall of Society. I love this book. It was super adorable, very quick read. I actually came across it at a bookstore and I had never heard of it, and I immediately devoured it. It was very cute. It's about a girl who came from the countryside to Paris to be a writer and make a name for herself. However, she caught the eye of a very regal man who could not be with her due to status. I love this book. This is such a cute romance book and a very, very quick read. Coming in at number 2, if you want your heart literally ripped out of your chest with the mildest of mild spice, I highly recommend reading Beach Read. I absolutely adore this book. I went into it thinking it was just gonna be a little fluffy romance, and then next thing you know, I was up at 4 a.m. sobbing. I absolutely adore this. This was so well written and such a good romance book. I highly recommend reading Beach Read. No, number 1 is gonna be controversial because I did say little to no spice, but I would be remiss if I did not recommend number 1, Fourth Wing. I know, I said little to no spice, and really Fourth Wing does have spice, but it's not overwhelming, and this has the greatest romance I've honestly ever written. I didn't write it. Romance I've ever read, okay? It is a romantasy, so the fantasy and the world building, chef's kiss, but the romance, if you know Xaden, then you know Xaden. For Valentine's Day, please, if you're gonna pick up a book with some spice in it, let it be Fourth Wing.